Hey everyone, welcome to Hog Shooting. I hope you are having a great day. Today we will be going through relations and functions, which is chapter 1 of your methods textbook. So to give a summary, in this video I will be going through the definition of a relation, the definition of a function, what's the difference between them, and then I will also go through a little bit more detail into functions, so the types of function, the one-to-one or the many-to-one. Right. Without further ado, let's get into the video. What is a relation? Well, a relation, as defined in the textbook, is a set of ordered pairs. Now, there are two keywords over here. Well, three if you want to, combine them together. But the first keyword is set, and the second one or phrase here is ordered pairs. Right, so what exactly is a set? Well, a set is just a group, and then ordered pairs, essentially what this means is a coordinate, so 1, 1, for example. So when you have a set of coordinates, what you get is something that looks like this. You've got maybe the coordinates 1, 1, you've got the coordinates 2, 2, you've got the coordinates 3, 4, you've got the coordinates maybe 1, 5, for example. So as long as you have a set or group of points, that is a relation. Now, a relation can also capture an equation. So an equation such as y equals to x, y equals to x squared. So, the equations that you've learned throughout year 11 in methods unit 1 and 2, those are also relation, because essentially with these equations, you can make a set of ordered pairs out of them. So for example, y equals x, you have the point 1, 1, because when x equals 1, y equals to 1. And likewise, when you have the point x equals 2, the y value is 2, and then so on. Same thing with the parabola. You can make a set of ordered pairs out of these equations, and therefore a rule or an equation is also a relation. So to summarize, a relation just captures essentially everything, every graph, every point, as long as they're grouped together. Now, what is a function? Well, a function is a relation, but with an additional criteria, and that criteria is that for each x value, there's only one y value. Okay, so what that means is if I have one x value, let's say x equals to 1, I can only ever have one y value, so maybe one y equals to 2. Now if for example x equals to 2, then my y value can still be 2. It doesn't matter, as long as for one x value there's only one y value. Now I'll give you an example where something is not a function. So let's do one right here. So this is a set of points, 1, 1, and then perhaps 1, 2, and then 2, 3, and then 3, 3. So this is an example. So let's have a look. Why is this set of points right here not a function? So the key factor for you to be a function is that for each x value, there's only one y value. So make sure you remember that. So let's have a look at these 2 points right now. So x equals to 1, x equals to 1. So when x equals to 1, we can see that y equals to 1 because of the first point, but then we can also see that y is also, or can also be, equals to 2 right here. So when x equals to 1, y can be multiple or 2 values in this case. Y equals to 1, y equals to 2. And that breaches the definition of a function. You need to only have one y value. So in that case, this set right here is already not a function, okay? So it is not a function. Now let's say I don't have the point 1, 2. So let's say this point did not exist. Okay, would this set still be a function? So let's have a look. When x equals to 1, my y value is 1, and then there's no any other value for x equals to 1, because all these other points now is x equals to 2, x equals to 3. So when x equals to 2, x equals to 3. When x equals to 2, we can see that y equals to 3, and when x equals to 3, y equals to 3. Now a lot of students get this mistaken. Just because the y values are the same over here. Y equals to 3, y equals to 3. A lot of students think that this is not a function. Well, again, go back to the rule. For each x value, there's only one y value. So each x value, x equals to 2, y equals to 3. So for this x value, when x equals 2, there's actually only one y value, and that's 3. And then same over here. When x equals to 3, there's actually only one y value, which is y equals to 3. Coincidentally, that happens to be the same y value here, but the definition of a function does not talk about duplicate y values. It talks about duplicate x values, or x values having two y values in this case, okay? So to summarize, a relation is just a set of ordered pairs. A function is a relation, but with an additional criteria, and that criteria is that for one x value, there's only one y value. Alrighty, so let's go into a bit more detail just to give you guys a bonus. What are the different types of function that you learn in methods? Well, we've got something called the 1-to-1 function, and then you have something called the many-to-1 function. Now, what is the difference between a 1-to-1 and a many-to-1? Well, to give you a simple example, I will draw two graphs. One is a linear line and the other one is a parabola. And if you have a look at the linear line, you can see that if I was to draw a horizontal line, so this is called the horizontal line test, I can see that for any y value, so for example over here, I only get one corresponding x value, okay? So that's number one. Now, if I draw another line, horizontal line over here, so it intersects the graph over here at this point. Now, there's only ever, again, one corresponding x value, okay? So then, because one y value, there is only one x value. Now, if you look at a many-to-one function, if I was to just draw a horizontal line, so for one y value, so this y value over here, whatever it might be, we can call it a, we can see that this horizontal line actually intersects two points on this graph. So over here, for example, x equals 1, and then over here, maybe x equals to -1. So what that is saying is that, I have one y value only right here, but what that gives me is, it actually gives me potentially two x values, because you can see that for the y value a, I can see that there are two x values corresponding to that one y value. So that is a many-to-one function. So if you want to test whether a graph is a function is a 1-to-1 or a many-to-one, you just have to do this horizontal line test. If it intersects the graph only once, then that's a 1-to-1. If it intersects the graph twice, no matter where it is, then that would be a many-to-one. It doesn't have to be twice. It can also be as long as it intersects the graph multiple times. Okay? Well, guys, that is a review of a function and a relation and the difference between those two. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please leave a like, because that will be very much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.